Ava Renee Moore was a young lady full of dreams. She was working hard to get into the Air Force Academy, which is not an easy task. She was enjoying her summer vacation, which, if she got into the Air Force Academy, would be the last where she would fully get to enjoy it because at the academies, they also have summer activities that they work with different units. They go through officer candidate school kind of training. They go through all kinds of training during the summer. So Miss Moore was getting to enjoy one last summer. She was ran over by Dakerlin Alejandra Gonzalez Gonzalez, an illegal immigrant from Venezuela who got into the car of another Venezuelan illegal immigrant who subsequently hit two other vehicles at least while trying to escape from the scene of that crime. Now, I'm going to let you hear from the people. I've got a local news from down in Texas. Actually, I think this is more Fox News than it is local, but you get to hear from the folks down there. They were able to capture both people. It turned out that the people in the house that she was staying were illegal. So, yeah, let's let you hear the clip. Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. We now want to shift gears, showing you a live look there in Dallas. Of course, shifting gears to a story that came from over the weekend just outside of Dallas, Texas. Officials say that an 18-year-old woman named Ava Moore was kayaking on a nearby Grapevine Lake there on Sunday. She was killed when a jet ski hit and run. The driver of the jet ski fled the scene with a male, and a search ensued. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton later announced that those two suspects were arrested, and we're now learning much more about who they are. I want to now turn our attention to Fox 4 Dallas reporter David Centendry. He's standing by to give us all of the details and the latest. David, thanks so much for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. Just break down the very latest, some of those details that are just now coming out.
Yeah, thanks, Christina. Well, just within the past hour, we obtained an arrest warrant affidavit for two suspects. And the person who was driving that jet ski apparently was operating it at a very high rate of speed around swimmers and kayakers. And we've learned that Ava Moore, who was on her kayak, was actually trying to get away from that jet ski just because it appears it was being reckless on the lake. Then she was struck from behind. The operator of that jet ski actually got away, but not before a photo was taken of her and shared with law enforcement, who have just blasted it across social media here in North Texas.
The police came and they went to that house right there.
Oak Cliff neighbors rattled Tuesday morning as law enforcement surrounded a home off Atlas Drive.
I don't really care what people do around me. I don't care if it's cops involved, SWAT involved, whatever. I just mind my own business.
But while trying to stay to himself, Angel Gonzalez could not help hear authorities demand two people, reportedly on the run from a deadly lake crash, surrender.
I mean, everything that our officers and all the agencies have been doing is for Ava Moore.
18-year-old Ava Moore, a recent U.S. Air Force Academy preparatory school graduate, was killed after being struck by a jet ski while kayaking on Grapevine Lake Sunday.
And then I heard someone in the crowd say she hit someone. And so I automatically turned around to go back toward the water because I was concerned.
Lisa Scrayback there as a group pulled Moore from the lake.
You know, we just started life-saving measures, checking her pulse at that time.
But Moore passed away, and the woman on the jet ski fled.
I turned around to look at the water, and I could see her and the passenger on the jet ski going away from the incident, and they were waving toward like their people, and you could tell they were trying to get away.
Someone shared this photo of the suspect with Texas game wardens, who released it to the public. It's shared thousands of times across social media. Tuesday morning, authorities identified her as Daicarolyn Alejandro Gonzalez Gonzalez. Attorney General Ken Paxton says she was in the country illegally, and we saw immigration officials on scene early Tuesday. Gonzalez was located inside this Oak Cliff home. A woman renting here, who does not want to show her face, says several rooms inside are rented. She claims she first saw Gonzalez Monday night with a man who lives there.
It seemed like her photo was so clear that she would just be caught very soon.
Gonzalez, now in custody for the death of Moore, according to game wardens. On top of that, Grapevine police say Mikel Coelho Perozzo, also a reported illegal immigrant from Venezuela, will face additional charges for a vehicle crash while driving away from the lake with Gonzalez.
Where they crashed into two different vehicles and got out of the car and ran away.
Had some Oak Cliff neighbors known they were reportedly hiding next door, they say they would have called 911.
I would probably try to tip them off and tell them that they were here.
So Gonzalez is facing several charges, the most significant being manslaughter. Texas game wardens, who are the lead on this investigation, plan to have a press conference tomorrow morning where we are expected to hear more information about what led to this arrest and some possible new charges. Christina?
And David, of course, such a sad story. I have to ask you before I let you go, have we heard from Ava's family at all? Have they spoken out in the midst of any of this?
So her family has released a brief statement, just, thanking people for their prayers. Actually even said that they are giving out some prayers to everyone involved, that also being the suspects. So you don't always see that. We did have an opportunity yesterday to interview one of Ava's former basketball coaches, who said she was just a shining star. She expected her to really climb the ranks in the military once she officially got in, and just had nothing but positive things to say about her.
Again, there with Fox 4 in Dallas, giving us an update on this very sad story, David Santangeli. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, wanted to bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox. And just to wrap up what we've heard and learned there in this story, I want to put this up on the screen as well. These were some of those tweets that were put out by the Fox 4 reporter David Santangeli, saying that is the picture. We also saw that there in the story when Gonzalez was arrested. She allegedly struck and killed Ava, who's only 18 years old, there on Grapevine Lake with a jet ski before fleeing. It was reported now that she was in the country illegally from Venezuela. And we do know, again, Moore was preparing for military basic training. And there's another photo as well that we have there of the lake where this happened. But according to an arrest affidavit, Gonzalez was driving that jet ski at a high rate of speed in close proximity to swimmers and others. The kayakers, though, as we heard, were just trying to get away when Ava Moore was struck from behind. Sad story, but we certainly wanted to bring it to you here on Live Now from Fox, leaving you with this photo of Ava Moore. Of course, if any more developments come, we'll bring them to you here. And of course, when we get that press conference as well, we'll have it here on Live Now.
You heard all of that. Ava Renee Moore was somebody who was working to be something far greater. She was going to defend this country. And no matter what your politics are, that should mean something. But this woman who was illegally in this country, who couldn't even obey our laws. Oh, but they're just innocent people in all this. No, they're not. And this is another example of that. She broke the law by taking the life of this young woman. And then they broke the law getting away in so many different ways. They're saying she's being charged with second-degree felony manslaughter, reckless operation and excessive speed, leaving the scene of an accident involving death. They're probably going to she's probably going to have a bond of $500,000. They're saying the people who watched this basically said wanton disregard to the safety of others and at a speed manner that endangered others in the area before eventually colliding with one of the two kayakers paddling near the shoreline. This is what happens. every time in this country. We continuously have people supporting this Gonzalez woman. It's time that we stop doing that. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.